Hello. Hello. My name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani. Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for TEAS. We have been solving TEAS math problems out of this book here, the official study guide, version 7, 2025. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. Today, we are not going to actually solve a math problem. We are going to solve one problem, math problem at the very end, just one problem, which happens to be problem number 2 on page 106, which we skipped. We did problem 1 and we did 3, 4 and 5, but we skipped number 2 because problem number 2 involves a concept that we have to learn yet, we have not learned yet. The concept here is CC versus ML. What does CC stand for? What does ML stand for? And how do they relate to each other? Let's begin then. CC, as you can clearly see here, stands for cubic centimeter, and ML stands for milliliter. So let's start from here. Before we can understand what milliliter means, we have to first be able to conceptualize, we have to first be able to visualize how much a liter is, because we don't use liter in our daily life in the US, we use gallons. So let's begin the story from there. So when we pull up to the gas station and put the gas in our car, we have a fairly good idea of how much gas we are buying there. 1 gallon, if you just buy 1 gallon of gas, which is not a lot, it's not going to take you too far. 1 gallon of gas is approximately 4 liters. It's approximately 4 liters. In other words, therefore, 1 liter that we're talking about is about a quarter of a gallon. As you can see, it's not a lot of liquid. This is the measurement of liquid. This is the measurement of length. Length, width, height is a dimension, it's a measurement. To measure this thing, you have to have a measuring tape. To measure liter, you do not require a measuring tape because you're measuring amount of liquid. Do you understand? You never went to gas station with a measuring tape in your hand. This is measurement of liquid. So 1 liter is approximately 1,000 gallons. Now imagine that we're going to take that amount of liquid, 1 liter, and we're going to divide it by into 1,000 equal parts. That's not a lot of liquid. That's a very small amount of liquid. That small amount of liquid, 1,000th of a liter, is 1 milliliter. 1 milliliter. 1 milliliter. And before I forget it, and before we keep on going, let's talk about this thing. 1 milliliter. 1 milliliter. Liter is spelled sometimes with T-E-R, sometimes it's spelled with R-E. And it's abbreviated as ml, m with a small l, or you will also see it m with a large L. They all mean the same thing. Milliliter. That's a very small amount of liquid. 1,000th of a liter. In other words, 1/4,000th of a gallon. 1/4,000th of a gallon. You take 1 gallon of gasoline and you find 4,000 small containers. And what those containers are, we'll get to that in a second. It's a very small amount of liquid, and that is called 1 milliliter. Now, how does it relate to cubic centimeter? Let's take a look at it. Again, before we get into this thing, we have to first understand what a centimeter is. A centimeter, how long is a centimeter? Again, we don't have to be precise for the exam. For T, we don't need precision, you just have to understand the concept. 1 inch is actually 2.5 centimeter. But as I said, you don't have to be so precise. So it's okay to say that 1 inch is approximately 2.5 centimeter. If 1 inch is approximately 2.5 centimeter, that in turn implies that 1 centimeter is less than half an inch. That's what a centimeter is. It's less than half an inch. And we're talking about cubic centimeter. What is a cubic centimeter? How does it relate to this guy? Let's take a look at it. Okay? So we're going to build a box. What are we going to do? We're going to build a box, and the box is going to have a dimension of, we just said that 2.5 centimeter, approximately 2.5 centimeters is approximately 1 inch. If you were to multiply both sides by 4, that means that 10 centimeter, 2.5 times 4 is going to be 10. 10 centimeter, the length of 10 centimeters we're talking about is approximately 4 inches. And you can picture how long 4 inches is. And we're going to build a box, which is going to be 4 inch by 4 inch by 4 inch. Let's do it. About 4 inch. It is not 4 inches that we're using. We're measuring in terms of centimeter. We're going to measure the length of exactly 10 centimeter. Again, you can pick up a ruler and see exactly how long 10 centimeter is. One side is going to tell you the measurement in metric system in centimeter, and above it is going to tell you inches, and you'll see that they meet at about 4 inches. 4 inches approximately 10 centimeter. And this is what the box will look like. So each side is going to be 10 centimeter, 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter. The third dimensions we have to add to it because it's a box, it's not a rectangle, and they're all 10 centimeter. Are you with me so far? What's the volume of this thing? The volume of this thing is going to be 10 centimeter times 10 centimeter times 10 centimeter. 10 times 10 is 100, 100 times 10 is 1000, so it's 1000 centimeter cube. Okay, pay attention. 1000 centimeter cube. That's how we read numbers. For example, if we have 7 squared, we read this as 7 squared. It is not read as squared 7. Similarly, if you have 5 cubed, we say 5 cubed. We don't say cubic 5. We do not say cubic 5. But when we're talking about units, as opposed to numbers, when you're talking about units, the convention is that we read the unit first. So this thing is going to be read as 1000, not centimeter cube, not 5 cube, but cubic centimeter. That's how we read it, cubic centimeter. This thing has a volume of 1000 cubic centimeter. It's a box that we have built, and on the top there's a hole there. It's a solid box. And in it we're going to pour some water, or any liquid for that matter. We're going to pour some water, and when it's completely full, we will all agree, everybody in the world is going to agree that when this box is completely full, a box that has a dimension of 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter, a box that has a volume of 1000 cubic centimeter, when that's completely full, we're going to all agree in the world that we're going to call that amount of liquid 1 liter. 1 liter. 1 liter. And if you divide that amount of liquid into 1000 equal parts, then each part is called 1 milliliter. Or if you like, 1 ml, smaller, same thing. Because milli means 1000th of something. Therefore, 1 liter must have 1000 of these. Are you with me? One more time. So we build this box, we're going to pour the liquid in it. When it's completely full, that amount of liquid, everybody's going to agree in the world, that's 1 liter. And therefore, 1000th of that is 1 milliliter. And since this thing has a volume of 1000 cubic centimeter, here's the punchline. It holds 1 liter. 1 liter is made up of 1000 equal parts. Each part is called 1 milliliter. And since this thing has a volume of 1000 cubic centimeter, therefore, 1 cubic centimeter must equal, where can we put punchline? 1 cubic centimeter must equal 1 milliliter. There we go. Because it has a volume of 1000 cubic centimeter and it holds 1000 milliliter of liquid. Therefore, 1 cubic centimeter is 1 milliliter. That's all it is. Even though one concept measures the distance, dimensions, and the other concept measures liquid, and yet they are related because we are talking about how much liquid it can hold in a bucket. So anything at all where you can measure the volume. Except here we are not talking about a bucket, we are talking about a cube. 10 by 10 by 10, 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter, 10 centimeter. So that's what it is. 1 cubic centimeter is 1 milliliter. Now let's do the problem. Problem number 2 is what we skipped on page 106. Let's take care of it. And you will see that problem is actually very, very straightforward. We just have to first understand this concept. So 1 cubic centimeter is equal to 1 milliliter. And again, what I left out is that it can be written like this, or it can be written as cc. That's what cc stands for. cc stands for cubic centimeter. Cubic centimeter, it can be abbreviated as cc, cubic centimeter, cc, or centimeter with a cube sign. It's the same exact thing. It's the exact same thing. This thing is read as cubic centimeter, not centimeter cubed. Not centimeter cube, cubic centimeter. Let's do the problem. In problem number 2, we are told that we went to the doctor. Something was wrong, obviously. We went to the doctor. He gave us a prescription and he told us to take 2.5 milliliter twice a day. And he wrote us a prescription. We took the prescription to the pharmacy, and when we opened the bag, inside the bag we found a bottle that contains 200 cc. On the bottle it says 200 cc. What the bloody hell? My doctor told me to take ml and this thing says cc. What am I supposed to do? Well, we already know what we're supposed to do. It's the same thing. 1 milliliter is equal to 1 cubic centimeter. Or if you like, you can write it like this. 1 cubic centimeter. How many cubic centimeter are we supposed to take every day? How many milliliter are we supposed to take every day? Well, 2.5 milliliter twice a day. 2.5 milliliter twice a day, that's 5 milliliter per day. Per day. And the bottle contains 200 cc. So all we have to do is divide 200 by 5. That's all. Because we're supposed to take 5 per day, 5 milliliter per day. It contains 200 milliliters. It contains 200 cubic centimeter, which is 200 milliliter. Therefore, 200 divided by 5 is going to last us 40 days. The bottle is going to last us 40 days, and that's all they wanted to know. That was the end of it. We'll meet again tomorrow. We will continue our journey, okay? Bye now.